Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Lad, TBKC, and all that other good This here is when it goes too far. When it goes too damn far. And we talking a little bit about line breeding, when does it go too far? And as a breeder, I went too far, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I'm gonna shock y'all. I've had some ugly things happen with some breedings that I've attempted and experiments that I've attempted in my program. Amongst the things that I've had happen, I've had, puppy born with a leg deformity. I've had a puppy that had a serious skin issue. I've had a puppy who had, I don't know what it was. Honestly, I'm being honest with you. The dog just was very, very skinny. Never, it didn't have worms or parasites. We had to test it for that. The dog just never, it was just, I don't know. I've seen, now this didn't happen in my yard, but I've seen puppies that are born hermaphrodites with the same sex organs. Both sex organs. I've seen many different things. Let's put it that way. I've seen puppies that grow but never grow mentally. Like they 8-9 weeks old, they never walk. They just sort of. I've seen those things. Those didn't happen in my yard, but I've seen them. Now, as a breeder, things will happen. No breeder is perfect. You know what I mean? My few things, I'm not gonna lie to you, we put them down. You know what I mean? Once we saw it happen, we put them down. In our pursuit of trying to make things better, sometimes we take dogs that look incredible. They look like they have the perfect genetic makeup for each other. You put this thing together and it comes out and it's bad. And we've had that happen. And when we do have that happen, you have to shut it down. Not only do you have to shut it down, you have to make a note to never do this again. Amongst other things we've seen in our community, once you breed a dog too tight or whatever, the dogs have problems reproducing. We've seen many different issues. As you do this in line breeding, because we do line breed because we want to lock in certain characteristics, we have to be very, very careful that we keep our eyes open for any red flags, anything that's starting to go wrong. And it might be something very, very simple where you start to notice skin issues that are coming more and more prevalent in your line. And you're like, Or, you might see, more obvious traits like a high rear, or you might notice heart murmurs. And it's best to get you a notebook and always take notes of these things so you can look over your breeding, because people always talk about reading a pedigree, but you can't just read a pedigree by names. You know what I mean? It's just like, if you talk about somebody from history, okay, you say Malcolm X, but Malcolm X doesn't tell the story. You know what I mean? You say President Bush, but President Bush doesn't tell the story. You have to put a story behind this thing. And that's what you do with every dog on the pedigree. And that story starts with detailing the issues, pros and cons that they had, the good, the bad. You have to know these things. This is the science to it. When you put a breeding together, that's why it could take a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of hard work. Like now, with most of my dogs coming directly from in my yard, it makes it easier for me because a lot of it's here. I remember what happened with this and that one and that one and that one, and I can change it. But it is very important in your own yard to keep track of the smallest details that you see, especially to start to go wrong. We can always gloss over the good. Yeah, I see the heads on those dogs. I see the thickness on this. I see the thickness on that. Or, yeah, that's the beautiful stuff. But one of the dogs was born with one testicle, or one of, these different things. These are the things that's going to help us get closer to that mythical perfection that we talk about. Even though we say it's mythical, we still have to strive for it. And striving for it means taking out anything, including breeding plans that don't work. Sometimes we talk about just the dog, but honestly, it's not just the dog. Sometimes it's our plans that are screwed up. And if our plans are screwed up, we screwed up. But I've screwed it up. We've all screwed it up. We've all had our ups and downs in breeding. But the good breeders, we recognize that we had a problem and we eliminate it. We don't try to fix it. We eliminate it. That don't mean you have to kill every puppy, but if the puppies are not going to live a quality life, you put them down. But sometimes you just fix them, you know what I mean? But you make sure that these mistakes don't carry on. You have to stop it, and you also have to stop it in your program. If you put, dog A and B together and it didn't come out to C, it came out to F, it's time to cancel that, man. I have a great amount of respect for a lot of people in this community. Oscar Gomez, I've talked about Carlton Pratt, you know, even friends of mine, you know, Ruben Cortez, you know, Ruben Flores, you know, it's a lot of guys, you know, different breeds, Belinda Moore. And one thing that I really respect about all these people, even if I don't, you know, use their dogs or whatever, or even sometimes the same breed, is that there is a non-stop, constant pursuit of the perfect dog. And these are people who tend to say, you know what, no matter what, I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to use certain things, you know. And Val, my boy Val from Seabad Bullies, they own Mufasa. Beautiful program. He's putting together a lot of beautiful dogs. It's that pursuit for perfection that will make our breed better. It's not the thing about patting an individual on the back, but you know, we're coaches in this thing, and you know, and coaches don't continue to allow bad plays or bad players to go on if they want to win the game. So you know, as you go forward in your program, take a lesson from some of the older breeders that want to do it the right way, that we have to keep our eyes open for the smallest issues, and we have to pull those things out. You know what I mean? When you line breed, sometimes you become closer and closer and closer to inbreeding. It's a fact. We line breed, and we look at it up front. We like, yeah, we broke the blood up, but if you look behind it and you start to look at the ancestors, it's really trickling down closer and closer, and certain genes are getting magnified that you might not want. And sometimes you get a twist to where, you know, something pops up that has never popped up, and it's just an anomaly that happens when you start putting different genes together, that sometimes something can come up. But when it comes up, it's up to us to understand why it came up and how not to make it come up again. We're not going to be perfect breeders, we're not going to be perfect people, but we have to be perfect in our morals. And our morals have to be that we cannot add things in this that are detrimental to our dogs, our breed, and you know, and the community. Just that simple. But I hope we got to this, man. I'm gonna do a video later about breaking down pedigrees and different things of that. We're gonna get on more educational stuff. I'll be letting y'all know about the radio show. Get at me. Much love, y'all. Peace.